Indicators here. All right, Sunday. Reminds me of those commercials I used to see when I was a kid about those monster trucks. All right, so Sunday, here we are. Man, tomorrow we start trading again. Tonight, if you want. Futures market opens back up tonight. All right, so here's what I want to do. Yesterday, we took a look at the opening range breakout strategy and how the Maverick indicators could keep you on the right side of the tracks. What we're going to do today is, got some emails from you guys saying, hey, can we trade the ES off the open? Can you show that? So yeah, totally, 100%. So let's go day by day this last Monday, and let's look to, here, I'll put kind of our rules that we're going to go by. We're going to trade Monday through Friday, all right? We're going to trade ES, and we're going to do, let's do 2 contracts of ES. My charts are Eastern Standard Time, just so you know. I get that question all the time, which is a fair question. You know, is it Eastern Time? And yes, it is. Wall Street time, New York time. We are going to, let's try and make $500 a day. Nice, easy, simple goal here, $500 a day, which is very prop friendly, right? Just trying to make $500 a day. We're not trying to look for the moon. We're not looking to blow a prop firm account. Just very, very prop friendly, $500 a day. And we're going to take our first good setup off the open using the Maverick indicators, okay? One thing is, you guys know, I always skip the first minute of open. All right. So I never get in on the first minute because that's just like the bell rings, everybody piles in, and you don't know where price is going to go. You see some really wild candles that first minute. So let the market settle in, let everybody put in their orders, all that stuff, and we'll be good. All right, cool. So that is pretty much that. Trying to think if there's any other rules about today. So if you're unfamiliar with our indicators, real quick, we're going to be looking at a few things. Number one, we're going to be looking at our Maverick AI Pro, which colors your candles to the data, not to price and direction. So I'll give you an example. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. Now this is pre-market, right? But pink is your strongest downside data candle. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. You had a sell signal right here. Red is your second strongest downside data candle. Bright green is your strongest upside data candle. But again, this is pre-market, so it's going to be, you're going to have a lot of chop. How do I stay out of chop? Stay out of gray candles. How do I stay out of chop? Stay out of gray candles. How do I stay out of chop? Stay out of gray candles. How do I stay out of chop? Stay out of gray candles. I mean, I could just do this over and over again. So really simple. It's coloring your candles like a heat map of underneath the hood, the data that we're seeing. Who's winning the match? The bears or the bulls? What is the buying behavior? All that stuff is formulated underneath. Formula we came up with, and it's just awesome. Okay, you have your Maverick signals, which is these guys right here. You had a buy signal here, sell signal, sell signal. This is screaming at you to get in, and then you saw it just go to the downside. So pretty cool stuff there. And then the Maverick guide, this blue line right here. See, I'm kind of drawing parallel to it. We like to go short when price is below the blue line, and we like to go long when price is above it. Short when price is below the blue line, long when price is above it. Short when price is below the blue line. I could just do this all day long. So very cool. Let's clean up the chart here. And what else do we have? Let me add my trender. Where's my Maverick trender? All right, cool. Now we got our Maverick trender on the board. So Maverick trender, when this line is touching the top here, that's showing massive strength and momentum. And this is pre-market. So this is very much like kind of sideways-ish. But if you look back here where you got a sell signal and it dumped right here, and then it came flying down, your Maverick trender was pegged this entire time. And then you're going to get little movements here and there because everyone's waiting for the market to open, right? They're waiting for the opening bell. So that's that. Right here, the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick Radar. Right here, we have an A+ setup. to the downside right now going into the market open. Now we'll see what happens when the market opens. But right now going into the market open, oh, that's weird. It takes off your drawing there, kind of resituates it. We have an A plus setup to the downside. What this tool is doing is it's going through our entire checklist, all the things from our Maverick indicators to decide, do you even have a setup? And if you do have a setup, do you have a B setup or an A plus setup? And right now you're going into market open with an A plus setup. Imagine having a trading assistant on your charts telling you when you have an A plus setup. This thing is an absolute game changer. Those that own it know it. And then let's see here, Maverick Multi-X, this guy right here. Think of T1 through T5. They are algorithms, but think of them as traders, and they all have a completely different style, and they're casting their vote every single tick if they're bearish, which is red, or if they're bullish, which would be green. And right now, coming into market open, you are absolutely bearish. All 5 traders who have a completely different style are voting bearish across 6 time frames. How powerful would it be, and I say this every video, how powerful would it be if I put you in a room with 5 other traders who all had a completely different style, and every single tick they are updating you how they feel about 6 different time frames? Unbelievable. It's so cool. And that's pretty much that. That's pretty much the indicators we're going to use today. And actually, you know what I'll do? I'll actually add our Maverick zones. This is an indicator that just got released Friday. It auto draws your support and resistance levels. And then when you get near the level, what it'll do is it'll give you a score, a probability score of price holding or breaking this zone. Pretty dang cool. So not only do you have the ultimate trading assistant serving up A plus setups right here and telling you when you have a B, and it also serves up B setups. You want to know when a setup is about to happen, right? So a B setup is good by me in a lot of situations. And now the Maverick zones, which is exclusive to TradingView, all our indicators work on NinjaTrader and TradingView. The only one that is sold separately outside our bundles right now is the Maverick Zones. Just came out Friday, and it's not included in the Ultimate Edge bundle, which, by the way, the Ultimate Edge bundle right now comes with 10 indicators. Best value, period, bar none. But the Maverick Zones is exclusive to TradingView. Came out Friday, and again, it auto draws your most highest probability zones and then gives you a score as you get closer to them. So you'll see how this thing works when we go through it. So, all right, so here's what I want to do. I want to go through Monday through Friday, and let's try and just make $500. What did I do that for? $500 per day. We're going to risk 500. We're going to try and make 500, and let's just go right off the open. Okay, super, super simple. And I'll walk you through how our indicators work and how they could keep you on the right side of the tracks. All right, so we're very bearish coming into market open. All right, again, we are bearish coming into the open, but anything can happen this first candle. We're up against this zone. You got this zone down here. Remember, a lot of times price likes to push away from the higher score. Price likes to push away from the higher score a lot of times, but who knows? This could get weak right off the open and we could come flying down, right? All right, cool. So we have to skip this first candle. So let's see where it goes. All right, so now you're coming down. Oh, now we gotta, here we go. It's okay, there you go. This is exactly why we skipped that first candle, okay? Exactly why we skipped that first candle. We're very bearish, right off, bearish coming into the market open. All 5 traders were very bearish. We had a downtrend label down here. But guess what happened? We skipped that first candle, and then this sucker comes flying up. Unbelievable, okay? Unbelievable. All right, so we now have our direction. Move 7 drawings. So we're going to buy. We're going to look to make just $500, okay? And let me tell you about these zones real quick that we got above us. Because we have more zones above us than we do below us, all right? So we have some pretty weak scores above us. You have You have a 59. Anything under 90 is fair game to break. 62 and 71. So these aren't very strong zones we're going into. We have a bright green candle, which is our strongest upside data candle. You have a B setup on the Ultimate Trading Assistant, the Maverick Radar, and we got an uptrend label. Okay, and and all 5 traders are voting bullish across 6 time frames. Okay, let's go. All right, so we're getting in this thing. We're gonna look to make $500. So we gotta break all the way up to this zone, but we have pretty low scores on these zones here. And you have an up confidence arrow. These are just letting you know you're in the right direction. Okay, so we call them confidence arrows. All right. Let's do this thing. All right, let's hit boom. All right, so we're up $50. 175 came down. We're getting a little heat, but here's what's interesting. My circles aren't moving with my scores. This candle just came straight down. But guess what? It's still bright green. You still have bright green candles, which is your richest upside data candle. But how many people jumped ship on this whole candle down because they can't see underneath the hood? All 5 traders are still bullish, and you now have an A plus setup to the upside. But this candle was moving down. How interesting, right? Because this is giving you a look underneath the hood. This is giving you a look underneath the hood. This is giving you a look underneath the hood. Okay, so and these are 1 minute candles too, so it's only 60 seconds of movement. All right, boom, and we're right back to moving up. You have another up confidence arrow. We have bright green candles, still an A plus setup. Okay, you got a 57% score on this zone here. 57% score, and we got to make it all the way up to here, but you got some weak scores ahead of you. Oh, a buy signal, let's go. A buy signal from the Maverick signals, let's go. All right, we're up $425. We got to break into this zone here, but you only have a 62% score. Bright green candles, you just got a buy signal. You got an A plus setup on the Ultimate Trading Assistant, and all 5 traders are still bullish. Okay, we need 75 more bucks. Ooh, so close. What do we need 25 more dollars. We need 25 more dollars. And then boom, you just tap the top of this zone. You just tap the top of this zone. There you go. Beautiful. There's your 500 bucks. Awesome. All right, so we won Monday. Let's take a look at Tuesday. All right, so here's Tuesday. We're already breaking into some zones here. And I'm just using my major zones, just so you know, the Maverick zones auto draws all your zones, gives you probability scores as price gets into it of the zone holding, but it has a lot of different types of zones. So you have major zones, you can turn on minor zones. If you're more of a scalper, you can turn on consolidation zones for those choppy days. It has cluster zones, retest zones, which are like premium zones that have high probability of holding. So we have a bunch of zones. I just have the major zones on right now. And look, coming into market open, we have a beautiful buy signal. Okay, another beautiful buy signal. I am just not coordinated today. Let's see here. Beautiful buy signal. Awesome. You have bright green candles. You have a B setup to the upside on the Maverick Radar, the Ultimate Trading Assistant. You got an uptrend label, and the Maverick Trender has been pegged for a while here, and you have been coming up. And then all 5 traders are pretty bullish. All 5 traders are pretty bullish, and you have weak scores here, 54 and 58. I told you anything under 90%, fair game to break. Fair game to break. Okay, so let's get into this thing. And we're gonna take our first great setup here, 929. So we gotta sit out this first candle. This is exactly why we sit out this first candle. Like, this is exactly why. Okay, gray candles. We do not get into gray candles. And look how it just stops at this zone right here. Just stops right at this zone. Very, very interesting. Very cool. Okay, let's go there. Okay, we do not get into gray candles. Gray candles means indecision or reversal. All right, so first green candle, we got weak scores ahead of us. Okay, weak score, bright green candle, up confidence arrow, B setup to the upside, and now all 5 traders are bullish across 1, 2, 3, 4 different time zones, to 4 different time frames. Okay, so let me remove all these drawings to clean up the market. Okay, clean up the chart. So we're going to go here. We're going to look to make 500 bucks, which means that we have to make it almost to this zone here. We're going to risk 500. Okay. All right. So here we go. We're going long here. Again, we have very low scores here and very low scores here. We have a bright green candle with an up confidence arrow, B set up to the upside, and all 5 traders are mostly bullish. Okay. All right. So here we go. Another up confidence arrow. We're pushing into this zone. We are pushing into this zone. So you got 57% score here and a 65 there. So this is a weak zone. All right. Beautiful. There you go. Here's your 500 bucks. Boom. Took very little heat on this trade. Here's your 500 bucks. So good to go. We had all, and our indicators are just guiding us the entire way. All right. So we won Monday. We won Tuesday. Let's look at Wednesday. All right. Here is Wednesday. Let's see here. We are very bearish. Going into the open, you got a sell signal, you got hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. All 5 traders are bearish across 6 time frames. 6 time frames, they're bearish, all 5 of them. Remember, all 5 traders have a completely different style. You got a B setup to the downside on the Ultimate Trading Assistant, the Maverick Radar, and then you have a downtrend label on your Maverick Trender. So very bearish, lots of bearish stuff. You got some pretty weak scores here, 52, 67 on the Maverick zones, on these major zones. So let's see here, where are we at? Boom. Okay, so we need a couple more candles before we get into the open. Woo! There's your first candle. There's your first candle. Absolute short right off the open. Hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pretty awesome coming into the open. Very weak score here. Very weak score here. You have another zone down here, and we don't know the score of that until price gets a little closer, because the score disappears when price gets too far away. We don't want to use computing power when price is like way up here. We wouldn't start computing a zone down here, you know? All right, cool. So we're going to get into this thing. Here we go. We're going to take profit 500. We're going to do a stop loss of 500. All right, 475 is close enough. It's the top of this candle. All right, and we got a B setup to the downside. So, oh, now we got, look, folks, look, up, down confidence arrow, another hot pink candle. All 5 traders are still bearish across 6 time frames. But the creme de la creme right here is this A+ setup to the downside. A+ setup to the downside on the Ultimate Trading Assistant, the Maverick Radar. A+ setup. So I'm loving this already. We are halfway to goal. We're halfway to goal. We're at 250, okay? Like your boy John Bon Jovi said, we're halfway there. All right, so let's go here. Let's go bar by bar. Remember, we're on the 1 minute bar. There you go. Boom, there's your 500 bucks. Okay, 500. There it is, right on the P&L. Very little to no heat. Okay, A+ setup on the Ultimate Trading Assistant, the Maverick Radar. All 5 traders are bearish across 6 time frames. And boy, this thing called it way back here. Way back here, you had this sell signal going into the market open. And this thing came flying down. And you have, I bet it keeps going because you still have some really weak scores here. Really weak scores on these zones, okay? All right, cool. So we won Monday, we won Tuesday, we won Wednesday. Let's take a look at Thursday. All right, here is Thursday. Thursday, kind of pre-market, it was bullish. You had a buy signal right here. Price absolutely flew up. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Then you had a gray reversal candle right here. And then you just have chop, you know, everybody's waiting for 9:30 to start, right? Everybody's waiting for the market to open. So All right, so where are we at? 927. We need a couple more candles. Okay, there's your market open. There is your market. Sorry, guys. Let me get my chart straightened out here. There's your market open. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Sell signal right off the open. Hot pink candle. Okay, down confidence arrow. All 5 traders are bearish across the 1 minute, the 2 minute, the 3 minute, the 5 minute, almost all the 10 minute. Okay, you have a B setup to the downside on the Ultimate Trading Assistant, B setup, and your Maverick trender has been pegged all the way since about back here. And it's and look at that. And a lot of times the market needs time to like catch up to the data. So this will pick up on some of the data, and then you just see the candles fly down. So it's pretty cool. All right, let's go here. One thing I do also want to bring to your attention, we're coming into these high probability zones, and you have low scores. 59, 49, these are very low scores. Anything under a 90% is like a fake zone, if you will. I don't mean a fake zone like, it's kind of like it looks like a brick wall, but price can push right through it. Okay, so these are low scores. These are very low scores. These are high probability of being able to just break right through. All right, cool. Let's go. Oh wait, we gotta sell this thing. Here we go. Sell. We're gonna look to make 500 bucks. We're gonna risk 500 bucks. B set up to the downside. All 5 traders are mostly bearish. Got a beautiful. This is giving me so much confidence. I just love that with the hot pink candle. Let's go. All right, so let's see here. Let's push one candle, one 1 minute candle. There's our money. Jeez. All right, there we go. There's your 500 bucks. 1 candle trade. And look, it just blew through these zones. And when you get past the zone will just like, if it's still a high probability zone, because remember what was once, let's see here, can I remove this? What was once support? What was once support, and if we break through, can now become resistance. You know what I mean? So, so there's always the possibility of that, but we're crunching some data in the background to track all that and count all that and all that stuff. So, and this thing just looks like it absolutely this thing just melts. So anyway, this thing just melted right off the screen. So pretty awesome. Okay, pretty awesome. Called it all the way back here. Just absolutely melted. Okay, so we won Monday, we won Tuesday, we won Wednesday, we won Thursday. Now let's look at Friday. All right, here we are on Friday. Friday. And Friday was a great day for us. So was Thursday. You know, go back to our videos here on YouTube and check out Friday was a banger. Friday was just so awesome. So go check out those trades. So what are we looking at right off the open? Well, I had this beautiful buy signal here. Then it hit this zone. Got completely stopped. Got stopped here. Looks like it's getting stopped right here. But this is pre-market. Again, these are 1 minute candles. Wall Street is, nobody's trading right here. I mean, that's not true because the price wouldn't move if nobody was trading. But you understand, like, the whole world is just waiting for Wall Street to open up right here. How do I stay out of chop? How do I stay out of chop? Stay out of gray candles. Don't get into gray candles. Certainly don't get in right before the market opens. Like, that's just silly business. But just stay out of gray candles. That's what you want to do. All right, cool. So where are we at? 929. Okay, here's your here's your open. There you go. Boom. A plus setup. What do we got? Right off the open. Well, second candle. A plus setup on the Ultimate Trading Assistant. Got an A plus setup. Maverick trender. Peg to the top. You got an uptrend label. Bright green candle. You got an up confidence arrow. Okay. All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. And we just blew through a very low score zone. And your next zone isn't that much higher of a score. Okay, so we're going to get in this thing. We got an A plus setup to the upside. We got a bright green candle. We got low scores to deal with. And we have all 5 traders are voting bullish across 6 time frames. And the Maverick trender's pegged to the top. Like, let's go. Like, let's go. The Ultimate Trading Assistant is saying, hey, let's go. All right. So let me erase all these drawings here, and let me buy. Okay, so here we go. Let's go up to 500. So we got to get towards the top of this zone here. But again, you have a very weak score and you have all the momentum. You got a bright green candle, up confidence arrow, A+ setup, weak score. You just broke through. All 5 traders are voting bullish across 6 time frames. Okay. I got to place my stop loss. 500. And we'll do 450. Okay, cool. So close enough. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Let me get rid of all these drawings. And let's go bar by bar. All right, so we're 350 bucks. We're very close to our goal, 350 bucks. We're breaking into the zone. We have bright green candles, still very rich upside data. We still have an A+ setup to the upside. All 5 traders are still voting bullish across 6 time frames, and we got this weak score to deal with. So let's see. Boom, there you go. Another up confidence arrow. Still have bright green candles. Still have your A+ setup. All 5 traders are still bullish across 6 time frames. Maverick trender still pegged to the top. Let's go. This is called stacking probability. Stacking probability. All right, so we won Monday, we won Tuesday, we won Wednesday, we won Thursday, we won Friday. Let's go. And this is, I wouldn't do a 1-to-1, but if you notice, we didn't really take much heat on the majority of these trades. So you could go for like a 1-to-2 or whatever you want to do, but not to rhyme there. But it all depends on, you know, what eval you signed up for, or prop firm, or what funded account you're using. They all have different rules. You got to know their rules. You know, I don't even mess with trailing drawdown prop accounts anymore. Like, no way. I think you'll see less and less of those. I think they're set up for a trader to fail, but that's neither here nor there. So guys, listen, if you want edge in the market, if you want clearer charts, okay, whether you're trading futures, whether you're trading stocks, whether you're trading options, whether you're trading Forex, whether you're trading crypto, okay, I know a ton of you guys are trading crypto this weekend as I'm making this video. As long as your charts are on NinjaTrader or TradingView, every single indicator that comes with the Ultimate Edge bundle, 10 indicators in total comes with. That bundle works on NinjaTrader and TradingView, all 10 indicators. The only indicator that is exclusive to TradingView is the Maverick Zones, which came out this Friday, okay? And right now, the Maverick Zones is 50% off from where it's going to be. We're gonna double the price soon. So we first opened it up to members, because members of the Maverick community always get first shot at anything we release and a special discount. Then we open it up to everybody else at a launch price, but we limit those spots, and then the Maverick Zones is gonna go to double the price. So it auto draws all your support and resistance levels, and then gives you these amazing scores, probability scores of the zone holding or being able to be broken. So this is just edge. This is edge. This is clear vision. Bright green candles. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Trading with 5 other traders. These are algorithms, but think of them as traders, and they all have a completely different style, and you're trading with 5 other traders. And then the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick Radar, serving up A+ setups. A+ setups. So awesome. So awesome. This, folks, is edge. So if you want some edge, if you want clearer charts, not financial advice, do your own research, never any guarantees in any market, come check us out, all right? I'll leave the link for Maverick Zones in the description, as well as our main site if you're interested in the Ultimate Edge bundle and getting some edge on your charts, all right? So hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope it was the best weekend ever. Rest up, because tomorrow we trade, all right? We trade. It's Monday tomorrow, all right? Come check us out. MaverickIndicators.com. That's MaverickIndicators.com.